Hello, guys. My name is Kifilwe, and I am going to share with you something that is very important. Something that, you know what, if everybody, especially young people today, could know and do and practice and have the attitude towards what I'm about to say, then I think many of us would be very successful. So, let me start off with a bit of a story of where this lesson came from and how it shaped who I've been and who I am today. I was in high school and I was not a top student. I was never a top 10 student, the smartest in the school, whatever the case may be. I was more on the athletic side of things. That's where I excelled. But I still passed. You know what I mean? Like I used to get average grades. And I remember I used to work so hard, right? But it didn't result into what I wanted. Then I got to matric and I really wanted to pass really well, in matric. I was like, no ways, I need to make it. And it shifted and I worked so hard. And I remember one of my teachers, because I got grades that I didn't want to get, and I went to them and I said, I study day and night. I study so hard. Why am I not getting the marks that I want to get? Why am I not being a top achiever like all the other kids that were top achievers at school? And she said something that changed my life forever. She said, Kifle, let me tell you something. You see these top 10 students, these top students that get 80s and distinctions, it's because they are naturally smart. She said that. Not her exact words, but something along those lines, that these people, it's like maths geniuses. Like, in school, like, there used to be those kids that we just didn't know how are they so good in maths. Like, what do you do? And to them, they were always like, I don't know, it just comes natural. So they didn't have to work hard to get 80s, etc. Not to say they did not study or anything like that, but their IQ compared to everybody else, it just sort of like came natural. They didn't have to work hard to understand like physics, maths, and all the likes. School for them was just that easy, and we always assume that it's because they work hard. But then here comes Kifilwe, who really works hard, who really tries, to get the same marks, like your 80s, your 70s, and I'm just not getting it. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong, And my teacher then said to me, these kids that get all of these marks, they don't know hard work. They don't have work ethic. And this normally catches up with them when they finish high school and they get to university and they start to live their lives and they realize that, oh, I'm not such a genius after all. I have to put in the hours. I have to put in the work, and not to say it was bad for them. It's unfortunately we are all born with different abilities. It's just that the abilities that allowed them to once be great in something, at some point in their lives, those abilities won't count for anything, right? They will have to now step up. And the same with me, my abilities, I was not a natural genius. So I had to step up at that point in time to get the good marks that I wanted. So it literally meant I had to work hard. I had to put in the effort. I had to do 10 times more of what the other kids would do. If they studied for an hour, I had to study for 5 hours. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get the gist? So she said to me, with you are fighting and working so hard to get these good marks. It is instilling something in you that is going to make you a success your entire life. Is that to get something, you have to sit your ass down. I remember that she said bum though. She didn't say ass. She said bum. Excuse the language. She said you're going to have to sit your bum down and work through something until you figure it out. Right? And she said keep doing what you're doing because that's the life skill. Note this, a life skill that you're going to need for the rest of your life. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you're going to need to sit your bum down and work hard. And I remember just the positive story that came out of it is that I worked hard. I took that. I didn't lose heart. I remembered what I worked hard. I studied so much. My grades in matric, everybody was shocked at the kind of results that I got, right? Everybody was shocked. And I will tell you why everybody was shocked. I even made it into Wits University, right? A university that I never thought would accept me because how average I've been. So yeah, I got accepted because my results were super good at the end of my matric year, right? And that accumulated. So during the year, I was getting my 50s there, my 45s. I can tell you that 45s, I remember my maths mark stayed at like your 42s, your 45s. So 45 for me was a big one in maths. But I'll tell you, I excelled at business. Shame. Maybe let me divert a little bit. When I remember in grade 10, I didn't take business studies, and then I took tourism, right? And when I got to grade 11, I changed. I said, you know what, tourism is not challenging enough for me. And I felt, during those times, we were told that tourism, there isn't much careers around it. Don't be fooled. Tourism is a big industry. There's so much. I would have loved to have taken tourism because now, knowing that I'm entrepreneurial, I would have probably started a business in the tourism industry of some sort. But then I switched from tourism to business studies. My first term, I wrote my first big exam. Everybody was failing, not failing business, but business was very hard for the kids in my school. And the teacher was one of those teachers who just, serious rudeness, those teachers who just don't take crap. And people didn't like her, and as a result, people didn't really do well in her subject. And I came in and people were shocked when they realized that with my first test, and remember I'm playing catch up, the teacher said to me, let me tell you something, right? You are going to not make it because you came in late. How are you going to catch up? Guys, I remember that night very clearly. I went through a business textbook because I had to catch up from the textbook in grade 10. I went through a business textbook, right, in one night, catching up grade 10 syllabus. And then I had to catch up the first term of grade 11. And we then wrote our first test. I came top 3 out of the entire business class. People were so shocked. I'm just taking you guys back to the life skill of knowing how to sit your bum down and work. So what is the point that I am trying to make? The point that I'm trying to make is today, I'm seeing a lot of young people. I'm still a young person myself, but I'm in the veteran space. So a lot of young people today aren't hard workers, number one. And I'm not generalizing. That's why I'm saying a lot of young people, and I'm going to speak about the ones that I've come across. They think that they are good at what they do. They have that attitude, which is a good thing. But sometimes the overconfidence, right? They think that they are so good at what they do, that they deserve the money, that they deserve the positions, that they deserve the higher things. They just have this thing going on in their mind, right? That they're good at what they do. And then they don't have the work ethic. Let me explain what maybe let me bring it back home. I've worked with quite a number of people, right? And I can tell you where you lack a skill, if you can't do something, if you're a hard worker, if you have good work ethic, if you sit down and you put in the work, you will beat the person with the skill, with the talent. You know the quote that says, hard work beats talent if talent doesn't practice, something along those lines. So I'm seeing this attitude in a lot of young people, straight out of varsity, straight out of college, whatever, and they're like, no, I'm not going to be working for 5,000 rands. You must pay me. I'm good at what I do. I'm great at what I do. And then you look at their work. I've come in contact, and some people, because I'm a business owner, I've hired young people, and I've worked with young people, giving them opportunities, giving them chances. And I can tell you, zero work ethic, zero hard work. That life skill is lacking. Oh, these glasses are so annoying. Could be because I'm a little bit sweaty. But zero Work ethic, zero. Working hard, they just think that they are just good at what they do and they don't have to put in any extra work. They don't have to put in any extra time. They don't have to upgrade their skills. They don't have to upskill. They don't have to learn anything like that. Mediocre, average, below average even. These people don't work hard. They think they are those geniuses in high school who just naturally got 80% because it comes easy to me. And I think for me, I'll get bashed, and I think that is also just one of the reasons maybe we have such a high unemployment rate. I'm not going politically, whatever. Yes, we know those are some of the reasons, but I'm talking about baseline, you as a person. Why maybe you are not employed, why you are in a position that you are at and you are not moving up, or you are not getting opportunities coming your way. I can tell you it's because you don't have this life skill of sitting your bum down and working hard. You don't have the work ethic. I mean, you're an intern. It's your first year ever at a job. And you tell yourself, you have the attitude of, I'll come into the office, do what I'm required to do, go home when it's time to knock off, and then kick my shoes off, sit, watch TV, eat, go to sleep, wake up, rinse and repeat. Within your first year of working, you're not putting in the work to say, how can I become great at this? So that by the time this internship ends, I'm seen as somebody who's so valuable that they offer me a full-time job. How can I become a person of value? If people knock off at 5 o'clock, how can I knock off at 6 or 7 o'clock, putting in the extra hours to become great at my skill, at what I do? I haven't been getting a lot of that, especially from people that I've hired and tried to do work with. And it gets so frustrating that because I'm that person, this life skill was instilled to me from high school, and it has carried me up until where I'm at today. Literally, my success, what I've built, who I've become, it's because of I know how to sit my bum down and work hard and put in. When everybody else is putting 2%, I'm putting in 50%. I don't look at the clock to say, oh, it's knock off time, bye, I'm going home. So we need to change our attitudes. We need to work on this life skill. If you don't have the skill, hard work will make up for it. Attitude will make up for it. Enthusiasm will make up for it. Positive energy will make up for it. An eagerness to learn will make up for it. An open mindset will make up for it. A curious mindset will make up for it. Asking questions will make up for it. Reading will make up for it. Upskilling yourself will make up for it. Putting yourself out there without expecting money. And I think that's the part. People don't want to do free things because they think they are that great that everything that they do must be compensated for. And then the sad news is you look at their work and you're like, where are you great? So please, if you don't know how to do something today, if you're sitting at home, you're not employed, or you are in a job, you're a young graduate, you're starting off your life, remember this life skill. When everybody's giving in 2%, you give 50%. When everybody's giving 50%, you give 100%. Don't look at the paycheck. Don't say, I'll do the work that's equivalent to what I'm being paid. Don't look at the time. You are not there yet. You don't have human capital as yet to demand what you want. I used to do jobs where I was not being paid because I knew what that would do for my future self. It was a long-term strategy for my career. And when I didn't know how to do something, I went and I learned how to do it. And I asked questions and I asked for help. And I sat down and I figured it out. I would apply for every job, not saying, I'm better, I don't want that job. Oh, they're not paying me. What am I going to do with this money? Another comment was like, it's just transport money. They don't owe you anything at the end of the day. Go start your own business then. So let's change that attitude, Let's change that attitude. I took that life skill, I ran with it, did all these jobs, didn't get paid for some, took low-paying jobs, worked in jobs that I didn't like, put up with things that I didn't like, because I knew what I was putting inside my bag. With each job that was paying less, it was me getting more value as a person. It was my CV looking nice and polished. It was a skill that I was learning, that I was getting and being good at. And today, I can demand the value that I am. I know my value. So don't overvalue yourself as yet. Don't be overconfident. Believe in yourself, yes. Be confident in yourself, yes. But you have to pay for it. Because there's countless other people who are way better than you. This world is not yours alone. But remember this. Don't have the skill? Make up for it in hard work. Learn to sit down and do more than what is expected of you. There's that quote that say, if you're willing to work for less, you will soon be paid more than what you are worth, or something like that. There's a quote that says something like that. And also in the Bible, if you're a religious person, it says that if you can't be trusted with one, how do you expect to be trusted with 10? So I'm just saying, with your career, wherever you are starting out now, be trusted with one. Put extra time and extra work with that one. Because now it's compounding. It's adding and adding and adding and adding. 3 years, 5 years later, you are a high value person, and you can say to them, nope, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've learned how to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is what you're going to compensate me. But it takes time to get to that point. For now, you are not there yet. Build. These are your building years. Build. Otherwise, you'll stay stuck complaining about the same thing over and over again. You apply for that 3,000, 5,000 job. Why? Because you don't have value. I've built up my value so much today that I don't even pay for 3,000. I don't apply for any jobs that are like 3,000, whatever. No, we are there. My invoice must be up to a certain level. If it's under 5,000, what am I going to do? I don't take such. Depending on the job, like a basic training gig in a week can give me about 7K. So you need to work now, compound, then you can command value later on. That's all the attitude that I'm asking you to have as a young person who's starting out today. You are not being exploited. Oh, I see this word a lot. You are being exploited. You are not being exploited. If you are smart enough, you exploit that company. You exploit that company so that it can work for you at the end. These people aren't exploiting you. They can survive without you. They'll find somebody else. But if you're smart enough to know, when I get into this organization, I know they're just paying me this much, but what am I going to take from them that when I land my next job or my next gig, I can command more because of that platform that gave me an opportunity to play and discover myself. All right, I've said a whole mouthful, and I'll be giving a talk at a women's event, right, on what is it? Yeah, 9th of March. And this is just a snippet of what I'll be engaging the ladies on. So if you see this video and you listen to the very end, details are on there as to how you can attend this event, and hope to see you there. Awesome stuff. I hope this has been very valuable, and to many more. Bye-bye.